It's 11 a.m. Mark went back to bed about an hour ago. We had to get up this morning because the CPAP technician was coming, so we have to get up and bring our machines down and all the paperwork. And we've got new masks, the new spare pipes. It sounds odd, doesn't it? Pipes. I'll show you what I mean. They're quite long. I managed not to get myself too wrapped up in them at night. So that's good. And I was trying to work out how long we've been using them. And Mark's been using his since 2008, and I've been using mine since 2014. And we both get on with them really well. We don't have any problems about having a mask on overnight. I do notice it a bit, but not that much. It's quite light. Mine is a nose mask, so yeah, mine's a nose mask, so it's quite comfortable. But Mark is tired. He's still trying to catch up, I think, from the mornings where we've had to get up, and he's not gone back to bed. So hopefully, after his sleep today, he might feel a bit more refreshed. I woke up, I think I was up about 6:30. I've slept well overnight for the first time in days. I've been taking extra steroids at night to try and just get me over this hump that was quite stressful. So I'm feeling quite well. I won't do that now from tonight, because I can't keep giving myself steroids, but sometimes to get you over a hump is what you need to do. And I was feeling really well, and I got locked out of my English bank account the other day. I used one of these digital keys, keypads, and I was putting in the wrong code, and I got locked out, and I was too tired to deal with it. I thought, I can't deal with getting through all the rigmarole of trying to unlock it. And today I thought, okay, I'll do that. Within 3 minutes, I was swearing and thumping the desk and screaming. And poor Mark, if I was on the end of that and witnessing him being so angry and whatever, I'd run away, because I don't deal very well with people that are angry. But he didn't. I mean, he walked off and left me to it because he knew I needed to be left alone, and then came back and gave me a cuddle. So from not being stressed, within 5 minutes I was, and that's it. It's like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to do it now. I can't do it. So we'll have to go over to the branch. There's a branch in LeBlanc, which is a 20-minute drive. We'll just have to go over there tomorrow morning and get it unlocked. I can't be doing with I got a bot, and the bot kept saying, oh, use this, do it on our mobile app. And it's like, not everything's on a fucking mobile. It's really irritating, and as you reach us, we didn't grow up, or haven't grown up in that generation where everything's mobile. When we moved here, we both had really old, he'd got an old Motorola flip phone, and I'd got an old Nokia, which Joe had forced me to have. I wasn't interested in having a mobile phone. So neither of us upgraded, and we didn't upgrade to smartphones until relatively recently, because it just reached a point of you get forced into it, really. But everything's mobile, and I still have fucked up the mobile banking. I thought I'd coped with it. I thought I'd dealt with it some weeks back, but I haven't. Because it asked for the password, and it's like, I don't remember the fucking password. That is the problem, is my memory. I don't remember passwords, and I use a password app for the laptop, for the computer, but not on my phone. And it's just, I'm reading something. Is it something I'm reading, or something I saw? Something I read about someone had that was it. It was online. It was, I'm going to look for him. He's a guy that I follow, or that I subscribe to. I'm just going to look for him because I watched his video yesterday, and he was on a really good date, and he had his mobile phone stolen. I find it. My worst date ever, I got robbed. Nathaniel Drew. I might link to it on here. It's worth watching. But he had his mobile phone stolen, and his whole life was on that mobile phone. Everything he needed was on that mobile phone. Numbers that he needed, a number that he needed that day to meet up with his friend, to go and visit and stay in his apartment, was on that mobile phone. He didn't know the details. He didn't have the number. See, when I was growing up and we used a landline, back in the dark ages, the numbers of the people that you rung regularly were in your head. You know, I knew my mum and dad's number, I'd have friends, I knew their number, and you'd just pick the phone up and dial them. You don't keep numbers in your head any longer because you keep them on the phone. So the phone has replaced your brain. And mine too. I'm not, you know, you're not alone in that. If I needed to get in contact with Joe now, I have in my bag a special, I bought myself a nice book, little notebook, and in it I've written down some important numbers because I thought if ever my phone gets stolen, I haven't got the numbers. You know, it's like we're so reliant on technology that when it goes wrong for me, when technology goes wrong for me, it pushes my buttons, it pushes my stress levels way up, which isn't good, is it? It's not good because I'm not meant to get stressed. That's bad for my illness. But it pushed my stress levels way up. I wish we could go back to the old days where you had to pick the phone up and it was over there. It's a bit like the remote, you know, the remote for the TV. Back in the old dark ages, you had to get up to switch channels or turn the volume up or turn the telly off. Sound like a whinging old lady. I'll leave that there because I know that people will comment and say, but you are a whinging old lady. But it leaves that free for them to say that because fuck them. So yes, so that did that. I've got art this afternoon and I'm going to take my lighthouse with me and finish it in art. So there won't be any more time lapse of it because it's reached a point of I know the top's wrong and I want to paint over that and start again. It just looks stupid. And I know the windows are wrong because I need to put, if you imagine inside a lighthouse, there's a spiral staircase. So the windows need to go up following the line of a spiral staircase. So I've got to do some painting over and then repainting. And at art, I can do that. And she's got finer brushes, which will make it easier to do the finer stuff. I've sort of worked out in my head how I want to do the top of the lighthouse. And it really was crap but I felt doing it with the phone on, recording it sort of put me under pressure a bit, and I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do. And I also need to sort out the rock that it's sitting on. But again, with Cleo there, I can get some input from her and some help from her because that's, you know, she's my teacher, and even though she doesn't get pissed off with me because she's my friend and she knows that some of what goes on is because we're friends, but quite often she'll tell me to, or, you know, suggest I do something and I go, no, I don't want to do that. But you know, no, I don't want to do that. And she goes, oh, okay. And she pretends to be upset, but I know she's not upset because she knows I'm playing. But yeah, I'm a bit of a difficult student. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Difficult student, difficult woman. I don't know. I think I was a difficult student for Mark when I first met him. Yeah. So I'm a difficult person, and fuck it. That's the way I am, and I'm aware of it, and I'm not. Now when I get stroppy, I know I'm being stroppy, and I know I'm being difficult, and I'm not arrogantly thinking it's okay to be like this. I know that now. So I think it makes a difference. Somebody said, I'm pleased your hands are okay. This is my worst finger. And last night I picked the cat up to put her out and knocked my finger on the door and it hurt like fuck. And I went to bed like this, holding it. I put magnesium on oil. I wore my gloves overnight. Woke up this morning. It was still painful. Between us this morning, we're going to have celeriac chips. And whilst the CPAP machine technician was here, we were in the kitchen and I was getting Mark to make the celeriac chips because I can't. I mean, celeriac's difficult to peel when you've got both the use of both hands, but I really don't want to use this hand. So he peeled it, and then he's not good at keeping the, when you chop stuff, if you're going to cook it all at the same time, it needs to be the same size. Otherwise you get some bits that are too cooked and some bits that aren't quite cooked. So I have to supervise. So he started cutting, and it was like, and he was using his, it's not his grandma's, but it's like his grandma's, it's a crinkle cut chipper. So he started doing that, and I went, no. So I took it off him. So he had to hold the celeriac, and I did the chopping with this hand. And the technician was going out to his car to get his to get our spares, and he just laughed seeing us standing there in the kitchen. He must see lots of people over the years who are gradually aging. You know, he's known Mark since 2008, which is how many years ago? 10, 13 plus 2 is 15. So he's known us 15 years, and Mark was 60, so went 60, and now he's 75. Is he? Yeah. So it sort of made him giggle or laugh when he came in, and I think he must have watched people age over the years, and you know, watched their health decline, and yeah, it's just the way it is, isn't it? And that's the sort of a sign of time passing. So there we are standing together in the kitchen, and I'm using one hand and Mark's using one of his hands, because it's the only way we can do the celeriac. Well, if I let him, he would have been able to do it, but it wouldn't have been correct, and it has to be correct. So it's nice and quiet here. No chainsawing going on. It's difficult having people around. It is tiring. So nothing now until he comes. Well, Ludo's coming tomorrow. I think Ludo's going to have a shock when he sees what's going on out there. But he's coming tomorrow to just have a look and see what he's got. He's got some jobs to do. And then Jonathan's coming back on Friday next week, which is, I don't know. So there's nothing really until, well, we might get some news about, the plumber. The plumber's coming next week. We still haven't got a date for that next week, but suggested that they would come next week, so that's quite good. So it's quite possible that we'll have to over this weekend empty the bathroom, but that won't be too much of a problem. So that's it. You've got a rainy day one to come, which I recorded yesterday evening or afternoon, and I'll give you this one first. So the timeline will be the wrong way round, and I don't care. Yeah, the timeline. This is this morning, and you'll get the rainy one tomorrow or later. No, tomorrow. Okay. Have a good Thursday or Friday.